I got it recording for anybody who wants to come back later. Last week, was it Mr. James that came in a little late? He had lost track of time. So,
yeah,
that stuff happens. That's why I like how that tablet will give you, like it'll alert you that class is going to start in 5 minutes. That's one reason to keep it on.
do I need to mash got it?
Yes.
You blocked out.
Yeah, that's right. Got it.
Okay.
And that's because I record it and they're just making sure that you know. But remember that I'm the person on the video. You might be able to hear yourself on the recording, but your picture doesn't come up. I have my picture set up to where it's the only one that comes up.
Okay.
So that usually makes people feel better because they don't like to be on camera per se, but I want to be able to see y'all for safety.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Here's Mr. James.
You settle down. Get up there and settle down.
Hey, Mr. James. Oh, your sound isn't even on, or your camera. He's all messed up. I gotta ask him to unmute and start his video. He might not want to. He might still be in his pajamas.
No, I'm here we go.
You hear me, Mr. James?
Yeah, can you hear me? I was having trouble getting my little emblems to show up on the bottom. Unmute and my camera. Like the whole time you were talking, I kept hitting it and I finally got it.
Okay. Well, I've been sending Miss Janice over at Claris issues this morning because we've been having some problems with several people's tablets, Miss Linda included, and thankfully Miss Linda got it fixed before class today. But hers was saying she needed to connect to Wi-Fi. But there was
mine's been working good except for that.
Okay.
But what happened? It was probably my fault.
Now, on this past Sunday, did you have something weird happen, like where your Claris just started playing a video game?
No.
Me and Miss Linda's Claris's, they both decided to play a video game. Hers played Candy Crush and mine played some kind of word scramble.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I've seen it. But no, mine didn't. Might have been because I was on it.
Huh. Yeah, the ghost couldn't take over yours if you were busy on it. Right. All right, y'all. Well, let's get started first with our, oh goodness, our warm-ups. I've been watching Dr. Lamb, the guy who wrote our program. I've been watching his videos because I'll be going to training in April and I have to watch all these videos and I have to take tests. And the first time I took the test, I got an 80, I forget what, an 80 something. I had missed one and it told me I failed. 83% or something like that was a failing grade. I had to retake it until I got them all right. So thankfully I have a pretty good memory, but dadgum, the questions it's asking, I decided I better pay better attention to my little class that I have to listen to. You think after 11 years you might have a clue as to what the answers are going to be. But I got them wrong. I got one wrong.
Yeah.
But it wasn't any, don't tell Dr. Lamb, but it really wasn't anything that important. I don't really understand why I had to know it anyway. But don't tell him, shh. He might get mad if I said that.
He might see your video.
He better not watch my video. I'm going to block him.
There you go. That'll teach you.
I wish I could remember now the question I got wrong. So I could tell y'all and y'all could confirm with me that it really wasn't that important. You know, I feel like, and I tell y'all this, the fact that we follow principles, we know our principles, we follow our principles throughout all of our movements. We have an understanding of why we do the movements that we do to get the benefits that we are interested in gaining. You know, we may be just interested in falls prevention, but alongside of gaining that, we're getting stronger muscles, we're getting more coordinated, we're getting better flexibility. So things happen even if it's not really our goal or intention. We're still getting all the benefits as we do these movements. The biggest challenge. Do what?
I can tell.
Yeah,
good. Before, you know, I can catch myself.
Yeah, that's great. And just, you know, being aware of your body and how you're holding your body and having that little, kind of like that little person living on your shoulder. You know, it might be me, it might be, you know, yourself, just as a reminder that says, hey, you need to check your posture. I think you're leaning over just a little bit. Oh, I think you're holding some tension in those shoulders. How about you let that tension go? Hey, you haven't took a good breath in a while. You know, just a little voice on your shoulder that just reminds you of body awareness. That's huge. When you start recognizing that you're holding your body in a way that could cause you to fall, or holding your breath, you know, when you start recognizing that, that's huge for growth and big time improvement when you have body awareness. And I think that's a great thing about Tai Chi, is that it teaches us to just be aware of how we're holding our bodies. And that's what we do first thing once we warm up, is make sure we have that good upright posture. We're not holding any tension in our shoulders. Our feet are about hip width or shoulder width apart, and our weight is on both legs. You know, that's a nice stable stance. Our weight is over top of our hips. We're less likely to fall when we stand like this. So as part of our Tai Chi, we do a lot of weight transference. We want to maintain that upright posture. So when I shift the weight to my left leg, my body stays upright, versus doing something like this, where I'm kind of leaning into the weight shift. If I'm leaning, that puts me towards falling. So that goes against what we're trying to do here. So we try to avoid that by keeping that upright posture. Just check in with yourself, make sure you're holding your body upright, and then continuing to breathe. Sometimes we get busy and we hold our breath. I don't know why we do that. It's just so natural to hold our breath. It's like, hey, we'll breathe in a second. But try to make an effort to continue to breathe throughout. Problem with talking is you're not breathing if you're talking. Talking is basically an exhale. All right, so here we go, starting with our neck. So what we're going to do is we're going to do neck, shoulders, and spine. Then we're going to repeat those, but done in a quiet way, so we can practice Jing, or that mental quietness. And then we'll do our lower body, our hips, knees, and ankles. And then we'll do those three quietly to practice Jing. So starting with our neck, let's bring our hands up, palms down, towards our chin and chest. Push away from our body and follow those hands all the way down, chin towards our chest. Bring those palms back up towards our chin and chest. Push away and follow those hands all the way down. You'll feel a little stretch in the back of your neck. Bring those hands up toward our chin and chest. Push away and follow those hands all the way down. Next one starts out the same way. Hand comes up towards, drop one down to your hip, Now follow this hand as you look towards your shoulder, feeling the stretch, and then coming back to the front. Switching hands, and follow that hand over to the side as you look towards that shoulder, feeling a slight stretch, come back to front. So you don't have to go as far as you can go. Just go till you feel that stretch. Helps increase the flexibility and mobility of your neck joint. That's what we're going for here. Be able to drive safely and move around with ease. Side to side. Let's bring those hands down. Now let's roll our shoulders. We roll them forward first. And then roll those shoulders back. Like a little massage you give yourself. Roll forward. Feels a little awkward. Roll back, and that feels a little more natural. Our shoulders should be back. The other one for our shoulders, we bring our hands up, palms up, and push them down in front of us. The great one to practice breath, inhaling as we come up, exhaling as we push down. I like to inhale through my nose and exhale through pursed lips. Now let's take our ball, hands facing each other, no tension in our shoulders. We're going to separate by pushing one hand down towards the ground, keeping that soft bend in our elbow, and the other hand follows that spine up and pushes up towards the ceiling. Again, keeping the soft bend in our elbow joints. Come back to our ball and switch. I like to exhale on the separation. To me, that helps make that stretch a little deeper. Back to our ball and switch. Nice vertical stretch of our spine. Now we're taking our ball from side to side, stretching our spine horizontally. Go on just a short little trip to where your ball's just above our knee. Switch our hands, come back across. Just a small movement from side to side. If you were to go any further than this, you can actually hurt your spine, especially if you have any bulging discs or already existing problems with your spine. And we're not trying to cause problems here. We're trying to fix them. So just a slight movement side to side. Breathe at your own natural pace whenever you feel ready to inhale and to exhale. Coming back to center. So now those are our first three major joints, our neck, shoulders, and our spine. So now let's go through them again, but let's do them quietly so we can practice Jing, or the internal principle for mental quietness. So starting back at the top, follow me. Might be a little easier this time now that your neck is truly warmed up. Give your body a little shake. It's a long time for all those legs to just hold your weight still. So those are our upper body, neck, shoulders, spine warm-up stretches. So let's move to our lower body, starting with our hips. Now remember that these are the ones that very much challenge our balance. And so it gives us an opportunity to practice our balance and to strengthen our muscles to help get them stronger and able to support ourselves. So starting with our first hip movement, we shift our weight to one leg. It doesn't matter which, because we're going to go to the next one after this. Shift the weight, heel forward, hands back, pause in the middle, and then toe back at like a kickstand, hands forward. Pause in the middle, heel forward, hands back, pause, and toe back, hands forward. One more time. Continue to breathe. Shift the weight, another heel forward, hands back, pause, toe. Nice movement of our hip while our stable leg holds that weight. Really testing our balance. Holding it there that whole time really tests our endurance too. Come back to center. Our other hip exercise involves shifting weight. This is kind of like a wall that we're pushing, and we stay in our frame. We don't push way over here, because if we start pushing way over here, then our body starts leaning, and that goes against what we're trying to do. Upright posture. Shift the weight. Lift and tap the toe out. Bring it back. Switch our hands. Shift. Lift and tap. Bring it back. Switch. Shift. Lift and tap. Bring it back. Switch. shift, lift and tap, bring it back, side to side. Last time. Now those are for our hips. Now for our knees, we have our loose fist. Relax shoulders, whether you keep your fist here down at your hips or up at your waist, as long as your shoulders are relaxed. We're going to shift weight. We're going to lift the other foot, tap the toe out, and punch that opposite hand. Bring it back, shift, keeping that body upright, lift, tap and punch, bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch, bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch, bring it back. Let's do one more on each side. Shift, lift, tap and punch, bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch, bring it back. Shift the weight. Now let's step out, heel toe. We're going to leave that back foot flat on the floor as we shift a little weight to that front leg and punch opposite hand. Bring it back, feet side by side. I'm going to move back just a little. Shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, side by side. Shift, step, heel toe, shift and punch, bring it back, side by side. Shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, side by side. Shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, side by side. Last time. Shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back, side by side. For our ankles, shift the weight and let's tap heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Bring it back, shift the weight, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Bring it back, shift the weight, big toe, little toe. Side to side, big toe, little toe. Bring it back, shift the weight, little toe, big toe. So side to side on the other side. All right, now give yourself another little shake. So those are for our lower body, our weight-bearing joints, specifically our hips, knees, and ankles. So now let's go through those again, but with quietness so we can practice Jing, J-I-N-G. Here we go for our hips. There you go. So it's kind of a good experience to do it quietly, although you may have thought my my sound had went bad.
You went off, period. I didn't see you.
Oh, well, I didn't see you. Did I go off on you, Mr. James?
No, I was watching the whole time.
Oh,
but
okay.
I was sitting down, my legs.
I was watching him.
Ah!
I kept waving at her. I thought she was watching me. Yeah.
Ah!
I wasn't hearing anything.
Huh. Well, I saw where your thing went black. I thought maybe you got a visitor or something. That's odd.
I knew something was wrong.
I hadn't messed with it, and then all of a sudden he came up, and I couldn't hear anything he was saying, but I thought he was talking to you.
Well, listen, don't you let that Clarice get the best of you. That's the devil. You just
I know.
You just let me know and we'll do our best to fix it. But right now, I don't know what happened. Maybe it won't happen.
I don't either.
So
he took something.
I knew something was going on. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know what. But I saw him took something.
Well, you can see that I'm back, and that's so
now you're in the little box.
I'm in a little box.
Yeah, and I'm in the full picture.
That's right. See, it'll go in the corner, a little box. But she's a big picture on mine, and I'm in the little box, and I can't see. There you are.
Am I back in the big box?
Yes.
You're supposed to be in the big box.
Am I in the big box now?
No.
I'm in the big box on yours, Mr. James?
Yep. And see, I can touch it with my finger, and then I'll be in the big box. See?
Huh.
But now I'll touch it again, and now you're back. But you can switch. I can make myself in the big box. But that hers might be messing up.
All right. I touched the little box, and you came back.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't been touching anything.
Okay, well that's it. If you touch
that ghost is still here.
That ghost is like, I want to play a game. Aren't you done with class yet?
If I want to fix my hair or something, I hit the little box, then I'm big.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows, y'all? Who knows?
Well, as long as you don't attack me, whoever it is.
I think it's a nice.
I'll be all right.
I think you'll be all right.
All right. Well, let's go through our basic 6. And, maybe by next week, we'll think we might could try that next or that first of the advanced movements. Not trying to stress anybody out. Definitely not trying to do that. But we like to introduce you to some new things. So let's review. Commencement. It's a step forward that's led by your left foot. So you shift to the right, you step left, shift left, and bring that right foot forward. That's the footwork. Shift right, step left, shift left, right foot forward. Handwork. They face each other the whole time. Remember, you keep that soft bend in the elbow. You bring those hands up, down, towards our bodies, up, out, and then back in. Let's put it together. We bring our hands up. When they come down, that's whenever we shift right, step left, bring those hands in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Bring the right foot forward. Hands come back. And now open and close. All right, let's do it again. Commencement. Bring those hands up. Down, shift right. Step left. Bring those hands in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Bring the right foot forward. Hands come back, open and close. And again, commence. Up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. All right, let's do it without talking. Follow me. I'm in mirror image. Commence. And again, commence. That's our first two movements of our basic 6. Then we have single whip and waving hands and clouds to the right. And then we'll have an open and close in the middle. Then a single whip and waving hands and clouds to the left. So let's practice those. Keeping in mind our principles of slow, smooth, continuous, and upright posture as we weight transfer. So our hands are here coming from open and close. We're going to shift left, step right, take our hands away from us, turn our palms away, separate, following our left hand. Now shift left, bring that right foot back. And that gets us ready for waving hands and clouds. Let's practice that one more time. Coming from open and close. We shift we shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot back, hands down. That gets us ready for waving hands and clouds. So let's do that footwork. We step out with our right, shift, and step left. Shift left, step right, shift right, step left. Shift left, step right, shift right, step left. So that's 3 steps to the right. That's the footwork of waving hands and clouds. So it's step right, shift, step left, shift left, step right, shift right, step left, shift left, step right, shift right, step left. So that's Tai Chi walking to the right. That's our first waving hands and clouds. Hand work. So we're coming from, no we're not. We're coming from the single whip where we bring our hands down. Now, there is a rhythm to this movement, or a pattern, if you will, where when I step out right, that's when I turn to the right. Same thing, when I step left, I turn to the left. So where you just step is an indicator as to which way you turn. So coming from that single whip, here, I step right, fix my hands or switch my hands to turn to the right, shift, step left, switch my hands, now turn to the left, shift, step, switch, turn, switch, step, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. Then we come to the middle for open and close. So that's the rhythm of waving hands and clouds. Step right, turn right. Step left, turn left. Step right, turn right, step left, turn left. Last time, step right, turn right, step left, turn left. So that's the rhythm of waving hands and clouds. We talked last week about having a paper in front of you on a Post-it or some kind of paper that has those words on it. Switch, step, turn, shift. Which order makes most sense to you? Our goal is to make it slow, smooth, continuous, so you can bundle your words and have switch and step, turn and shift, 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 switch and step, turn and shift. Last time, step, oops, step and switch, turn, but this last time we don't shift weight because we come back to the center for open and close. Do you have any questions about those movements?
Yeah, I can't keep up with them. I get all mixed up.
Is it when we put it together that makes it so difficult, Miss Linda?
I think it is because we're doing one step, then the next step. If I was doing one step at the time, I wouldn't get confused.
Okay, so that's so if you will write those words down.
I got them down.
Okay, and then just do those things one at a time. And don't worry about slow, smooth, continuous. Slow, smooth, continuous is our goal. Does that mean we'll reach our goal tomorrow? No. Does that mean we'll reach our goal in a year? No. But that's our goal. And so when we first learned to read, we had to learn to read by first learning letters and the sounds of letters. So if we learned to read the word dog, we had to know that the D made the sound D. O, ooh, that would be a confusing one because Y, it can say O or ah. Probably says something else too, I don't know. But G says G, or it could say J. So we have to learn the sounds just like we have to learn the individual movements, all the different parts of our movements. So then we go D, ah, G. That doesn't really sound like a word, just like when we're going switch, step, turn, shift, step, switch, okay, turn, switch. Okay, that doesn't really look like waving hands and clouds, just like duh, ah, g doesn't sound like it's a word.
Right.
It takes time practicing that dog, dog. You know, you just start practicing it, looking at it, identifying, and then before you know it, you're saying dog. So be patient with yourself. It's just like when you learn how to read. Bust it up, make it look as choppy as you need it to look. Just knowing that there are 4 parts to it. That's big. Because probably the very first time I told you waving hands and clouds, you would have just looked at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. It was just wave, hi, clouds. So that's not waving hands and clouds, but before you learned it, you didn't know it. So now it's part of that learning process. So break it down as simple and slowly as you need to. So we have that single whip. And then we begin step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. So that's breaking it down into really slow, smaller parts. That still can be overwhelming. So what can you do? All right, we'll just practice the stepping. Feel what that feels like. Okay, so I'm just walking to the left or to the right here. I'm stepping, shifting, and stepping, and shifting, and stepping, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step. I'm just walking until I can't walk anymore. I'm not worried about if I've done it 3 times or 10 times. I'm just feeling the rhythm of walking to the side. Then I'm going to go back to the left. Step, shift, step, shift. I'm telling you, this movement right here, even without the hand movement, this right here is going to help you with your balance. So it's okay if you don't learn it the Tai Chi perfect. Doing this right here can be very helpful to your balance. So we're just practicing the weight shift and the step. The weight shift and the step. The weight shift and the step. Shift, step. Now we gotta go back. Step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift. And then I'll be quiet as you do what we were just saying.
Are we kind of swaying with the weight when we go from one leg to the other? What I'm saying is, when I go to the left, I put my weight on the left leg.
That's right.
And lift my right and put them together. That's what?
So when you do that follow step, you're not going to put your feet real close together because that will probably throw your balance off. So when you step out, you're a little bit wider than your hips. And when you step in, you're about at your hips. And that's up to you to figure out what's most comfortable. Now, you might not have a problem having your feet real close together, but it may feel better for you to have them a little wider. Don't feel like you have to take a big step, picking up that foot and putting it right back almost where it was just sitting. It's the weight shift that's important. It's not your step that's important. It's the weight shift, step, shift, step. It's the weight shift that's important. That's what's helping make those muscles stronger. Pulling the weight off a leg is requiring one leg to hold your weight, and that tests your balance. So that's what you're doing with this movement that's so important. That's why I don't mind pulling away the hand movement for the sake of learning this right here for your balance, to make your muscles stronger. And this is just Tai Chi walking to the side. By Tai Chi walking, you're placing a foot out there, empty step, no weight on it, then giving it weight. Follow step, giving it weight. Step, giving it weight. So it may look like I'm swaying, but really it's that weight shift where I'm taking it from this leg and putting it to this leg.
Right.
Taking it from this, putting it to this. So you're keeping your body upright and you're keeping your body over top of where your weight is. So it looks like your body may be swaying, but really it's just moving on top of that leg that's holding weight. Yeah. You know, our body has to go with us, or else our body will be way back over here and our legs will be over here.
Yeah.
That don't make that won't work.
No, I know.
We'll be on the floor if we tried to keep our bodies over here. So our body has to go with us. But when we step,
Okay.
we shift and step. So that body moves over to this leg, steps. Now it moves over to this leg, step. Now it moves over to this leg, step. Now it moves over to this leg, step. But that whole time it stays upright. It's just moving on top, over top of the leg that's being given the weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So I don't want
it
you
look like I'm putting my weight on the leg that I'm supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like that my weight is going to the leg that it's supposed to at the time?
Yes,
when
ma'am.
I'm moving?
Do you feel safe and comfortable?
Not really yet.
Okay. But you feel like you're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that when I get started with something, then it's got to be in unison for me to keep up with it.
Yes. Well, just don't get in a hurry and don't stress yourself with the movement, because it's intended to be slow. Sometimes the words make it feel fast because there's a lot more words than movement.
Right.
So sometimes you may feel like I'm coming at you with lots of words, but really dial it down to what the simple part of this movement is. There. So I'm sitting here going step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift. That rather than saying step with an empty step, now give it weight. Step with an empty step, now give it weight. So see, that was a lot more words to say the same thing of step, shift, step, shift. So then it gets even more complicated when we start adding in the hand movement, because again, we describe the movement. Step, switch our hands, shift as we turn, step, or shift, sorry, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. So that's breaking it down to just those 4 words. But before you can do that comfortably and safely, you need to know all the parts of that movement, keeping that body upright. When you step out, there's no weight immediately. Then give it weight. When we're here, we have our hand by our hip that's engaged. It's not just flopping around down there. Hand that goes across our body like a sash. And then we turn just our bodies. Our hands are just going along for the ride. Switch, turn. So just like we practice that footwork, practice the handwork by itself. And you can do that. Sorry, my daughter texted me and hit me with, can I bring 3 different things to come pick her up? You can do that seated, is what I was going to say.
What I was
bring my water bottle, a flash drive, and some ibuprofen.
Write it down.
What I was saying, those I forget to move my legs when I start with the hand move.
Right.
So that's what I've got to get organized with, moving them at the same time.
Yeah, but don't worry about that just yet. Split them apart and then do one step and then do something with your hands, then do something with your feet, then something with your hands. So kind of do like an A-B pattern when you're first trying to figure it out, so that it's choppy, you know.
Soon get it balanced though.
Yeah, but you more worried about feeling safe in your movement and not trying.
Yep. Do like I do. Just fake it till you make it.
That's right. You just fake it. You do whatever you can that makes you feel comfortable. All right, let's give ourselves a nice little fist massage. We'll pick this up next week. Hopefully, in the meantime, do a little practice. Pick up on the waving hands in clouds tutorial video and see if there's anything in that video that, you know, kind of speaks to you. All right, let's gather tension and let it go. Gather and let it go. Gather, let it go. One more time. Now, big breath, inhale up and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Then we have our right fist representing our strength. Left hand, left fingers together representing our friendship. Thumb in is our humility. We put those together in mutual respect. We say namaste.
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 So thank you for hanging in there with me and hanging in there with yourself. And we're just going to keep learning and keep getting better each time. Let me know if you have any questions in the meantime, or else I'll just see you next Tuesday.
All right.
All right.
Good.
All right.
Thank
love
you.
y'all.
Love you
Thank
too.
you. We love you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.